Hello and welcome everybody to another Final Fantasy draft video. I'm Paul Cheon and today we are sitting at rank number 1332. Well, this is actually my first video in over a week as far as recording. So this is actually the first video that I'm recording since the Pro Tour has occurred. So I know it's a little bit late for all of you watching now, but I want to give a big congratulations to Ken Yukuhiro, well-deserved champion. Seven or eight Pro Tour top 8s, and finally he got to get it done. So big congratulations to him. And also this weekend, this past weekend, if you were wondering why I wasn't posting any videos with regards to the Final Fantasy Collector Win-A-Box events, well, I was casting, of course, the Pro Tour, had a bunch of fun there, but fear not, I did play a bunch of those. I played as many as I could. I was getting like 5 hours of sleep a night. I actually took home 4 collector booster boxes over the weekend, trying to play some matches wherever I could. So we have 4 collector booster boxes coming in. I'm really sad that they had this event this weekend, because if not, I probably would have gone for like 10 boxes. Those boxes are going for a lot right now. Highly desirable products. But anyways, I am happy to move on and try to do a lot of work here. Rank 1332. Let's do some work, and we don't have that many days left, but hopefully we can get to double digits here by the end of the month. All right, now before we head into this draft, I just want to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you want to buy some booster boxes of Final Fantasy just to open one of those chocobos, golden chocobos rather, or you wanted some singles to round out your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also check out HeavyPlay.com for all your Match the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. If you need deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. They also have a heavy convention presence, so if you ever see them at MagicCon, SCGCon, etc., tell them Paul sent you to get 10% off in person as well. All right. Oh, okay. Welcome back. Welcome back to draft. You know, I don't draft white all that often, but when I do, I open a Dion, Bahamut's Dominant. This card is one of the best rares in the set. It makes all your knights fly. You flip it, you win the game. It's great. Really good pack too. There's a lightning bolt in the pack, of course. Fantastic card. There's also Shantoto, Tactician, Magician, along with Rufus Shinra, White Aura Sight, and Combat Tutorial. So lots of really good cards here. I think the person that I'm passing to is likely going to take Lightning Bolt or one of these 2 Signpost cards here. Shantoto better than Rufus Shinra in my opinion. But we're going to take the Bahamut. And hopefully, white is open here for us. All right, moving on to pack 1, pick 2. We have a lot of different options. We have the Crystal's Chosen, which can be pretty nice as a top-end card in the white decks. There's Wall of Omens, which is also fine. Magitech Infantry is one of the better white commons if you want to be aggressive. And then there's also Saz's Chocobo, but man, I personally really dislike green-white as a color combination, so I'm more leaning towards taking one of these white cards, I think. You know, I'm feeling like drafting some kind of aggressive white deck. You know, I feel like taking the first infantry is where you want to be. Let's do this. I will note that one thing that I learned is a lot of people like doing the multicolored, slower decks. But what's been having also a lot of success in this format are the white aggressive decks, which admittedly I haven't been doing as much recently. So I want to see what happens if I shift gears. And, you know, if I first pick a Dion, I think taking an infantry, especially that early, is a nice way for me to kind of cut off white and also try to pick up as many of these as possible, which I think is also quite strong. Many members of the Japanese team, Team Moriyama at the Pro Tour, favored the white aggressive decks. Ken Yukuhiro notably making 2-0 playing for a trophy in both of his drafts with red-white aggressive decks. So I'm going to take Adalbert Steiner here. Lock Cole, also a strong card. Dreams of Laguna, also fine, but let's just keep cutting off the white cards here and see where this goes. Moving on to pack 1, pick 4, a bit of a weaker pack here. Travel the Overworld is a good card if you're looking to do the towns thing. But for us, it's between like Monk's Fist and Lionheart, I want to say. I'm going to take the Lionheart because I think it's a little less replaceable than Monk's Fist. But I wouldn't be shocked if Monk's Fist somehow ends up being the better pick out of that pack. All right, moving on to pack 1, pick 5. All right, the packs are starting to slow down here. There's a Gladiolus Amicitia, which is certainly nice if you're doing the landfall thing, but we're nowhere close to that. There's a Monk's Fist, but there's also Sleep Magic, which is a really, really premium removal spell. Again, I think Monk's Fist is like fine, but There are other good 2-drops you can pick up, and this is kind of replacement level, whereas I think Sleep Magic is a premium removal spell, and I'm totally fine going blue-white artifacts if that's available. So why don't we take Sleep Magic here and move on and see where this deck can go? Because noting that we're not seeing a ton of red cards, right? Like red-white equipment can be good, but you need to see a bunch of the red. Moving on to pack 1, pick 6, there's Combat Tutorial and You're Not Alone. You're Not Alone is a really good combat trick. But there's also Combat Tutorial, and blue-white seems like it might be where you want to be. I don't really like Summon Chocomog, and I did see a late Sleep Magic, so why don't we take the Combat Tutorial here and possibly move into some kind of a blue-white shell here. See if that's available. Here, pack 1, pick 7. Not much for a blue-white deck. There's an Aerith Rescue Mission and a Syncopate. Don't really love Syncopate if I'm trying to play to the board a little bit more, but not really sure what else I want here. None of these other cards really stand out to me. I'm going to take an Aerith Rescue Mission. I don't love this card, but it can be an okay way to try to close out games in a more aggressive deck. So we'll put it here as a maybe and see what's available. Now there's a You're Not Alone, and I do like Combat Tutorial a lot if I'm looking to be like a blue-white deck. You're playing to the board, so you can often get +1/+1 counters on things, but I like Dreams of Laguna less, just because blue-white's not trying to be like a control deck usually. And yeah, I like You're Not Alone a little better, I think. All right, let's take that. There's also Quina Coup Gourmet, which could be interesting. Noting that I'm not seeing a bunch of, like, I mean, I guess I did see the You're Not Alone, but kind of feel like I should be seeing more here if I want to move into some kind of white aggro deck. I don't want to go green-white generally. There's a Matoya, there's a red-white. I'll take the red-white land in case we somehow end up in red-white, just in case. Paladin's Arms tabling is absolutely tremendous. That could be an indication that white is somewhat open here. Very, very happy about that. Works really well with the Adalbert Steiner as well. Noting that I haven't seen a whole lot of black or red. Don't really love the Moogle. I guess I'll take Dreams of Laguna. No, I'll take Ahriman. I'll take Ahriman in case like I end up with black stuff. All right, these are all just kind of like maybes. Like, I'm not sure what my second color is right now. All I know is I'm a base white deck, and we're going to figure out what our second color should be here. Could certainly be blue, though. Could certainly be blue. All right, here we have lots of good cards. Overkill, Vanille, certainly strong. Sid and Titus, also really nice, along with White Mage's Staff. There's also Sephiroth's Intervention as good interactive spells. I do think I like Overkill a little more than Sephiroth's Intervention, but given that Ahriman was the only black card that I took, I feel like it's probably better just to take something like a White Mage's Staff or a Titus. I think I'm going to take White Mage's Staff. It's one of the best white aggressive commons in the entire set. Works well with a lot of the cards that we already have. And I think there's a really good chance we table one of these blue-white cards. And also lets me potentially... it lets me make the decision of going into a second color. Like, I get to hold that off, right? And I think that's also a nice thing to have here. All right, well, we got past one of the better rares in the set here in Arden the Usurper. Absurd pack. There's also Saz's Chocobo. There's a Crossroads Village. I don't really know what my second color is. So this is kind of tough. I mean, I'm not missing out on too much here. Like Summon Chocomog's replacement level. If there was another really excellent white common, I probably would take it. But I don't see a great blue card or a great white card. So why don't we just take the Arden and see what happens. Although I will say that there is a very high chance that this doesn't end up making it into our deck, but I'm just taking it here just in case. And now another miss of a pack here. Wow, this is not great. Like, there's an Evil Reawakened, but how am I even getting the Arden into my graveyard? I guess I'll take a Thief's Knife. If I do end up in blue-white artifacts, having job select cards are definitely a little bit better, but I don't feel super confident about that. All right, here we're easy pick. We have a Delivery Moogle. Some black cards. I mean, look, it's not surprising that we're seeing a bunch of black cards here because we didn't really pass any black in the first pack. So there's a Dark Knight's Greatsword and a Corner by Black Mages. White Mage's Staff also good, but the Moogle getting the White Mage's Staff is quite nice. Also getting Magitech Infantry, and if I get multiple copies, is also very, very strong. Another Moogle, very, very happy about that. White certainly very open from this side. Another White Mage's Staff too, which I do love, but I'm not going to take it over the Delivery Moogle here. All right, moving on to pack 2, pick 6. Summon Chocomog, Garnet, and Summon Primal Garuda. I really don't love this card, but I guess if I'm aggressive, it can be okay. And it's the only card that I'm kind of happy playing. So let's take this here. Like I said, I don't love this card at all. And yeah, I mean, what is our second card? Like, do we pass blue cards? Like, how are we just... I mean, I guess we're getting a bunch of white stuff, but man, this is kind of a tough pack too in terms of figuring out our second color. I suppose there's still a world where we can still end up in black-white, although I think I'd rather be red-white here, just based on what we saw in the previous packs. There's also Coral Sword, which is a decent trick. Actually, maybe that's better if I do end up in red-white. All right, I mean, how are we getting so many black cards here? All right, I'll take the salvagers here, I suppose. All right, well, we tabled both of the blue-white cards. That's what I thought we were going to do. There's a blue-white land, too. Do I want Tidus or Sid? We have a bunch of 4s. I guess I'll take a Tidus just as a way to kind of push through damage. There's a Marlboro here, okay. I just need to take a 2-drop here. Hopefully I don't have to play it. So blue-white specifically as a color combination seems open, but I'm just not getting a bunch of the good cheap artifacts here. Like, Tidus and Sid both tabled. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Sid is a better play here. Oh my god! Well, you know what? The draft has been going not perfectly, but we opened 2 Dions. So there's that. There is that. Also, I don't know why I'm, like, not even considering the black, when the black's probably better than my blue right now. So, apologies for that. We'll see where this goes. All right, here we have Paladin's Arm, Slash of Light. I definitely need interaction here. Some of these blue cards are okay, but I think Slash of Light's going to be really, really strong here. So I might want that. Paladin's Arms also looks really nice, especially because I have double Dion. Yeah, actually, no, I'm going to take Paladin's Arms here. These are Knights, by the way. So these are Knights, so that works really well. Being able to play this turn 3, like it works with the Adalbert Steiner and works with kind of the artifact themes of my deck and works well with the Dion here. All right, now there's a Crystal's Chosen and an Ultros. Could use some more 2s, but I don't have that many 4-mana spells that actually turns the Ultros on. All right, you know what? Let's go big deck, okay? Big deck here with the Crystal's Chosen. I only took this because my Ultros really doesn't get turned on by anything. Now I'll take a late Sleep Magic, so blue does feel pretty open from this side. And now we get to pick up some interaction, which is really nice. Here we have Stuck in Summoner Sanctum versus Weapons Vendor. And given that I have so many 4s and I do need some removal, let's take Stuck in Summoner Sanctum. And yeah, let's move into... So double Sleep Magic and Stuck in Summoner Sanctum. That's pretty good. And then here is our list. Now there's Galacat. I definitely do like Galacat a lot. What is our artifact count? 6? Could certainly use more. I haven't even seen a second copy of Magitech Infantry, which is pretty unfortunate. Oh, there it is. There it is. Absolutely going to take... The second copy of Magitech Infantry is basically better than anything you can pick up. Certainly seeing a bunch of the artifact cards now. Sid would be nice here, but we have 6 4-drops already. So second Magitech Infantry is very, very nice here. And I'm very, very happy about picking that up. Moving on, Pack 3, Pick 8. There's a Merchant, I guess, or a Loot. I mean, none of these really matter. There's another You're Not Alone, which can be okay. And I think I'm going to play the Coeurl here just because I need a 2-drop. And I guess it would have been nice if I did pick up some of the other 2-mana plays here. Because our curve is actually somewhat high for a kind of like a blue-white aggro deck, right? I guess we're kind of more leaning in the mid-range side of things. But I certainly would have like remember those Monk's Fist that I could have taken earlier? Yeah, I wouldn't mind them. I wouldn't mind them at all. So we are on 7 artifacts here, along with double Delivery Moogle, which does kind of bring that number up to effectively 9, which isn't too bad. And yeah, I mean, take a look at this deck. Like, Ultros would just not have been good here, right? So. All right, yeah, could have used more 2s. Maybe I could have been a little bit better about taking good 2-drops, but This is our deck, and we're going to have to make some cuts here, of course. Okay, this doesn't work particularly well. We can do something like this. Yeah, I mean, this is not like an all-in aggro version of the deck. I will say that. It's got a little more card draw, got some removal, but I still think this has the tools to be able to win. Our creature count is at 11, but of course you have to count the equipment. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus the crystals chosen, that's 16. So that's pretty high. And I just feel like I just need all of my creatures here. You're Not Alone actually doesn't seem that great here because I'm not going super duper wide. So I think I can cut one and just play something like this. All right. Now, yeah, I mean, I wish I could have... Like, were there a couple of things we could have done differently? Well, I don't know. It's like figuring out my second color was probably the hardest part about all of this. Clearly, blue-white was open as a color combination. White was certainly open. But I think maybe I could have done a little bit better job here of maybe there was a better color combination. Like, what if I ended up with a slower black-white deck? That certainly could be a thing. But you know what? 2 copies of Dion. We got some card draw. Hopefully that carries us to where we need to go. All right. So let's submit this and see where this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. The Patreon is an awesome place to go just to try to join an awesome community of folks looking to up their limited game. Lots of great channels in there. You know, what's the pick, trophy picks, good beats, bad beats, etc. Make sure you check it out. All right, opponent going first. I will keep this hand. We have a Magitech Infantry into a 2-drop, which is very rare with our curve, so I'm very, very happy about this curve. Swamp Undercity Dire Rat. Okay. I'm going to play White Mage's Staff. I will not attack here, because they will happily block. I will attack next turn, though, and then make a Magitech Infantry if I can. Mono Black. I wonder if they're on the if they have a god in their deck. Okay. Let's get another one. Do I have another cheap artifact in my deck? I actually have to think. Did I need to pick something else up here? I have 2 infantry veterans and a White Mage's Staff. What are my other 2-drops? There's an Adalbert Steiner and a Coeurl. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? I might have to play Instant Ramen in my deck. I actually just didn't think about it at all. Are either of these knights? Not really. Okay, well, they have a bunch of mana. I'm going to play the Moogle here first, I think. They're a mono black deck, so they're very likely to have a bunch of removal. And I think the Moogle is a very worthwhile creature to kill. So let's just get an infantry here. Okay, there is the removal spell. And we were anticipating that. And oh, they're going to get their creature here. That's going to be big. So we definitely want to kill that. This thing is a 5/6. So let's put that to sleep. And now we'll play out the Dion. Yeah, side quest Hunt the Mark is obviously fantastic. They have a lot of material to sacrifice, so this is definitely getting scary. But you know, we have we have a lot of options here, right? We have the Dion, and then we also have combat tutorial. Okay, all right. There's a lot of bombs in this format, by the way, folks. A lot of bombs. Okay. They have 1 card left. All right, we'll play Tidus. I mean, certainly a lot of options here. Let's see what they do. All right, 1 card left in hand. What is happening? I mean, I guess they literally just copied Jody Keith's deck from the Pro Tour. Alright, so Summon Primal Odin is going down, so I think this is a good opportunity for me to just add a lot to my battlefield if possible. I'm going to try to make a large Tidus here if possible. Okay, ooh, Stuck in Summoner Sanctum is great. How do I want to do this? So let's let Odin die. They didn't sack it to Ahriman. So they're digging, I guess? Which is a good sign for us to some degree. They could have a fatal push, I suppose. Cornered by black mages. Okay. Let's tap this down. Two cards in hand for the opponent, and then now we can just go Crystal Chosen. The Crystal's Chosen, very happy with this pick now, right? It's looking great. Q-Trub Forayer, okay. Yeah, no, this is excellent. Alright, Dion down. Let's play Crystal's Chosen. Let's tap the Ahriman and attack. I'm going to keep the land in my hand here just in case they have Hektize. Like 7 mana is totally fine. Also, our board is fantastic here. We can Moogle back the Magitech Infantry out of the graveyard. But, I mean, this is just such a big attack. Unless they have a way to sweep the board or gain a ton of life. I'm liking this spot a fair amount. Like, I still have the mana to go Delivery Moogle into Magitech Infantry, pump this with the trigger, and still have the mana to move White Mage's Staff, which is all very excellent. I mean, one of the downsides of playing Mono Black is you do have to play some filler cards. Although the Forayer, yeah, so like the Forayer and the Iron Giant are filler. 100% if they're playing Mono Black, they have the god, the 5 black god. Absolutely. I suppose Arden would also be quite strong. Oh, what did I say? Play around that Hektize. Not that, I don't know that it matters, but it does feel good to be able to just say something and then have it happen immediately, right? It's always a good feeling. It's always a good feeling. All right, so Crystal's Chosen doing its work there. The fact that we have double combat tutorial is nice because it allows us to make sure that we keep hitting our land drops into the late game so that we can play some of our more expensive spells. Never have I wanted a Monk's Fist more than in this type of deck just because I had the double Moogles. But look, like your Magitech Infantries are just naturally going to die anyway, so just a 4-mana 3/2 flyer that gets a Magitech Infantry is still very good. Alright, this is a risky keep, but I'm going to play it because I have one of the best cards in my deck in Dion Bahamut's Dominant, and if I just draw an island, this hand is fantastic, right? So 3 planes, Dion, Tidus, Sleep Magic, and Combat Tutorial. Island off the top or island within the next 2 draw steps would be great. Magitech Infantry or White Mage's Staff would also be great. So we're in a spot where a 4th land, any land, planes would be fine. Obviously, island would be great. So 8 draws to a really good draw. And then we still have 5 2-mana plays that we can draw. So we have 13 cards off the top that we don't mind drawing. Magitech Infantry certainly being one of them. Turn 1, Saz's Chocobo. One of the, the strongest play in the format. So that's going to be tricky. At least we were on the draw. Or on the play. Otherwise, that would be a really big disaster. Alright, we're on the defensive here. Really good 1-drop, 2-drop. And we drew a Coral, which is not great. Certainly just a filler level card here for us. gonna block here. I mean, the thing is, I'm on the back foot here, so if they have a trick or removal spell, so be it, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got me with the Precious Wanderings, but there's not too much I could do in this spot. Like, this is about as good of a start as you could hope for. Turn 1 Chocobo into turn 2 2-drop into White Mage, just like into Precious Wandering. Their 1-drop is a 3/4 right now. Just to kind of put things in perspective, right? That is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, no blue mana here is unfortunate. Now, we still have had plays here, but Esper Origins, geez. Top 10 rare in the set, really good card, really good start. Gonna really need a blue source here so that I can at least put Sleep Magic on the Saz's Chocobo, as it's already a 4/5 and they have it. Okay, well, look. There are games where you have agency. There are games where there's a lot of good back and forth, and then there are these games. These games are certainly less fun, but it is part of Magic. All you have to do is just appreciate the really great draw from the other side. Jeez, yeah. I mean, like, whenever I draft a green-white deck, I just flood out in my... It's just, like, these really strange, awkward hands. This is obviously just phenomenal, and there's not that much I can do. Let's put Saz's Chocobo to sleep. Let's pass. Can't do anything there. I'm gonna have to... Wait, why is there a drawback to this card? I can't even tap the Fat Chocobo? Non-enchantment creature. Like, it's already a bad card. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm at 3. Renoa Heartille. Whew. Fantastic deck for the opponent. I'm trying to draw for some answers here. I'm at 3 life. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright. Good beats. Good beats. Very, very solid green-white deck there. And we move on. Not even Dion could save us there. Come on, Dion. Okay. Let's not get Chocobo'd out there. Opponent on the play here. We are going to mulligan this hand as it has 1 land here. We will keep this hand and put in planes on the bottom. Our first play is a turn 3 Paladin's Arms. 2 planes, an island, You're Not Alone, Sleep Magic, and Paladin's Arms. Our deck is very heavy on creatures, and we did draw White Mage's Staff immediately, so very, very happy about that. Looks like we're on some kind of going up against some kind of Sultai mid-range deck. Black Mage's Rod is the play from the opponent. Okay, nothing from the opponent. I'm gonna attack. Okay, they're blocking. Sure. And this is the exact example of why a card like Primal Garuda is just not great. Like, what am I gonna do with this? I mean, it's just gonna be sitting in my hand for a really long time. Alright, Bahamut Rexar from the opponent. Scorpion Sentinel is the play from the opponent, and that was a Dion, but we're going to go ahead and pump this up, attack for 4. Can't, because we have no creature to play here. I mean, it does have Ward, and next, if we do draw a land, I can play Dion here to give this flying. If they kill the creature, then we have other plays we need to make. Like, I suppose I can play Summon Primal Garuda, but do I even care about killing the 1/4? I think I'm just going to play Dion here. Like, this is nice when I can get my opponent low, and the flying is actually relevant, where I can finish off my opponent. So I'm going to try to wait off until then. They used their overkill, so hopefully that was like they just fired off a removal spell and it was not great for them. That's my hope. Okay, we will take this the 1 damage. Huh. Oh, I guess my creatures have flying. So that was basically a free attack, but I think I don't want to risk, you know, like a Vane's Treachery without them having to sacrifice Black Mage's Rod. I think they have Vane's Treachery here. They're going to move this and... Oh, never mind. Just nothing. All right. Okay, well, now we'll play the Garuda. Hey, this is 3 creatures. This is actually... If they don't have removal, this is lethal. If they play a blocker, I don't mind, because I have Sleep Magic and plus You're Not Alone. Okay, they did have side quests, which is obviously not great. But we do have a backup Dion, which is great. Ready to be hit with the nice here. Alright, well... Let's see what they do. If 1 Dion isn't enough, surely a second Dion can get it done. So why do they good game us here? This is my question. Why do they good game us when this is not over? You know what I mean? I hope this is game over. Alright. I wanted to keep up You're Not Alone. Like, if they kill one of my flyers, I can still use You're Not Alone to kill them with the other one. So. Alright. 2-1. 2-1. We needed both Dions there, but that's why you draft them, right? That is why you draft them. Alright, on the play. Ooh, nice little curvaceous hand here. We have the turn 1 Magitech Infantry into lots of interesting plays here. I wonder if I play the Steiner or the Staff. I think I'm gonna go Staff. See what they do. They played Adalbert Steiner. Okay. Think I want to keep this one back to block. And now I have an interesting question. I'm going to just take the more conservative route here and try to get maximum value. And keep up Magitech Infantry. The thing is, they can't really attack me with the Steiner here. Okay, let's get an infantry. And let's play Dion. Alright. Maybe I attack with the Magitech Infantry as well, but if they kill the... I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe I should have attacked with Magitech Infantry as well. Sage's Noliths, okay. Also, we can just take this damage. Alright, there is an island there, which is great. I can't pump this. Those fly, though. I can't flip this yet. Ambrosia Whiteheart, okay. Glad I didn't use the sleep magic just yet. Thieves' Knife gets picked up, and we are in a bit of a racing situation here. Okay. Now what? Is this a knight? It is a knight. So this is going to be a 4-3. Alright. I mean, the fact that I have a 4-3 and a 3-2 here, they're going to need to play 2 equipment. And otherwise I can just block with the Paladin's Arms. Okay, this is fine. Okay, Bahamut down. And no attack. Why would they not attack? My stuff all flies now. Alright, they're at 4 life. Alright. Alright. Too much value. Okay, Dion. Dion, another game, another Dion victory. That knight line of text is actually so relevant. We have double Paladin's Arms, and the Adalbert Steiner is also a knight. So let's keep it going. 3-1 with blue-white. Mostly just, it's just 40 cards and 2 Dions. Okay, opponent on the play here. Bit of a slower hand, but I think I'm still going to keep here. 3 lands on the draw. No 2-drop, but we do have Paladin's Arms, Gallicat, Lionheart, and the Delivery Moogle. So hopefully we can find a 1 or a 2-drop in the first 2 turns, just to be able to keep pace with whatever our opponents are trying to do. Definitely wish this Lionheart was just a Monk's Fist for this deck, just to have a 2-drop that's also an equipment. But this one is an uncommon, you see what I mean? It's an uncommon, so I took it. Uncommons are sweeter than commons, right? Alright, turn 2 Ilmeg Pixie is the play from the opponent. Nothing here for us. Turn 2 Pixie is very strong. I will play out a turn 3 Gallicat here just to block. Hopefully. And if they find a way to attack through the Gallicat, then I have the Lionheart on turn 4 to kill the Pixie. Dragoon's Wyvern. Okay, you know what? We are all in on the Gallicat here, because if this thing lives, it literally just brick walls everything. But if it doesn't, yeah, it's annoying. It is absolutely annoying. Okay. All right. Gallicat lives. But their deck looks excellent, by the way. They just literally, they went turn 2 flyer, turn 3 flyer, turn 4 flyer. It's a lot. It is a lot. Let's kill the Moogle. The way that I look at this is, if they play White Mage's Staff and equip an attack, well, I mean, yes, they get an attack for 3, but that was very, very expensive. Dreams of Laguna, so they're potentially digging here. I guess they have the guaranteed play in the White Mage's Staff. No attack, and no White Mage's Staff. That is scary, right? That is certainly very, very scary. It's like, what do you have? What do you have? 2 cards in the yard. They could have a Syncopate, I suppose. But maybe I kind of want them to counter the Moogle here. It's just very bizarre, right? I'll play into their counter. I'll play into their counter because I have a Dion in my hand. Okay, Swallowed by Leviathan, sure. Alright, let's play Magitech Infantry, attack for 3. I am so happy about that trade. My Gallicat traded for an Ilmeg Pixie and the Dragoon's Wyvern. Okay. Obviously happy about that. White Mage's Staff is the play from the opponent. No blocks. They're still keeping up all that mana, huh? I mean, another Swallowed by Leviathan would be kind of weird. But they can certainly have it. Sometimes you have the reads, you know what I mean? Alright. Well, they've drawn a few more cards than us. They've been able to get some very, very good value with their card draw spells, but hopefully now we've been able to exhaust them of their counter magic and or removal, and hopefully the Dion gets it done here for us. No counter spells available for you now. I guess I should have attacked. Alright. Maybe they have like an Ultima or something? Ambrosia Whiteheart picking up White Mage's Staff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if they have a kill spell for Dion, it's not great. Okay. What do you do when you flip? Okay. Sure. It's like... Okay, there's a Tidus. Sure. I'm gonna just play Moogle and get a staff and just play those two, I think. Seems like developing a decent board here is the thing to do. Let's see how many artifacts they have. Now, if they play 2 artifacts, it's not great. Wow, okay, Magitech Armor, sure. So Moogle gets tapped here on the attack. Sure. So now the question is, do I just chump here? I think the answer is yes. Alright, we're at 9 life. Okay, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oof. Not quite. That is certainly a lot of attackers coming from the other side. This is definitely scary. Let me read this again. Okay. Let's draw Sleep Magic. Okay, Stuck in Summoner Sanctum is very good. God, we're so close. Okay, we'll see where this goes. Keeping some blockers available here. My Lionhearted token can block the Magitech Armor. That's an Ultros, and they can tap something. If they play a 4-mana removal spell, then that's not great. Okay, so then now Dion has to block, but then my creature doesn't... Yeah, I mean, this is brutal. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I mean, we're not dead. But Dion has to block. Four, 5. Okay, so we have to block the Ambrosia. Alright, we're at 2 life. 2 life. Man. They were able to find all the lines to do all the damage. That is super duper. Like, Ultros tapping the creature down for 2 turns is so much. 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. I go to 3. Yeah, I mean, just a really solid blue-white deck with a lot of value. And Tita's certainly not looking as good on the draw. It actually has a very, very low win rate. I just wanted to try it. Seems like if you're on the play, it can be interesting, but... yeah, I mean, they just simply outraced us here. If they attack with everything, we are dead. Yeah. Alright, I mean, that's certainly a game where I feel like there was some points of damage that I missed. Remember that turn where I could have played the I could have attacked with the Magitech Infantry? That actually ended up being super duper relevant there. So I feel like that was certainly a game that I could have maybe navigated a little bit better to give me... but then if I attack with the Magitech Infantry, maybe I take more damage on the crackback. I don't know. But I just feel like that was a close enough game where I feel like I could have maybe done something different. Not 100% though. Alright, we're going to keep this on the draw. 4 Plains, Paladin's Arms, Lionheart. So we got a 3 and a 4. We found a combat trick in You're Not Alone. Yeah, maybe I'm just not prioritizing like Monk's Fist high enough. Even though it's not like a particularly strong card, just having a 2-drop just still seems so good. And I just somehow just didn't end up with enough that I wanted. Has anybody ever been poisoned out by this card? If you've ever poisoned somebody out with Finn the Fangbearer in this format, let me know. Like, am I supposed to block Finn? If they're gonna let me. What if they just Chocobo kick it, right? All right, 3 mana. It kind of feels like a Chocobo kick. Oh yeah, it's a Chocobo kick. Picking up a land, I suppose. So they just don't have any other... they don't have extra land drops to make, I suppose. Well, we might... there might be a... the first poison kill might happen here. You never know. I mean, I'll let myself get up to 6 poison, I guess, right? That's fine. And then we can just start attacking for a good amount next turn. A lot of good options here. Wow, nothing? Okay. I mean, you know, Sleep Magic on that doesn't actually seem terrible. Let's get the card flow going. Alright, you know what? You're mana screwed. Let's just put that one to sleep and see what happens. We have Lionheart, You're Not Alone, and Gallicat here as options too, along with the option to move the Paladin's Arms. Alright, well, our opponent just got mana screwed, so... not too much to see in that one, unfortunately, from the opponent's side. 4-2. 4-2 with one loss that I couldn't do too much about, and then a second one which I feel like if I replay the games, maybe there was something there. Alright, opponent going first, and we got a bunch of random cards, but it works, I suppose. I do have a curve here, so I can't be mad. I got a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop. Saha again is the play from the opponent. And we drew double Dion. Shinra reinforcements. Okay, so they have our opponent also has a nice 2 and a 3, and they hit Resentful Revelation out of the graveyard. This is certainly the type of matchup where you don't really want it to go super long, because the Dimir decks will be able to grind your deck to dust. So, we'll see what happens. Lock Cole is the play from the opponent. Alright. Let's play Dion. Looks like there's a Syncopate here. There was a delay, so just gotta be mindful of that, of course. I'm just gonna take this here and force them to use, find the removal spell here. Like, obviously they're digging here, but they're gonna be looking for an answer to the Dion. Hopefully they fire it off main phase because I'm a blue deck, and then I can use that opportunity to play the other Dion. Somehow their entire deck is Lionheart proof. Alright, so hopefully they have the issue where they just have way too much... So yeah, I mean, they're definitely taking a risky line here. A riskier line, rather. Keeping up all of this mana. Certainly this is free to attack, but like the token is kind of dangerous. Like, they very obviously have a removal spell here, right? Alright, let's just attack with Dion. Just play it safe. Okay, let's play Magitech Infantry. You want to syncopate that? And let's pass. That's... Oh yeah, they had that as an option, of course. And I'm happy trading Paladin's Arms with Lock Cole, if it comes down to that. And then we have the ability to get another infantry in play, or tap something down with Coral. Although not really interested in tapping stuff down with Coral just yet when I have mana to do other things. Another Sahagin, okay. A lot of interesting directions I can take this. I can go Thieves... Oh, I can't even equip the Thieves Knife. I suppose I can attack with these two cards here. And then if they kill the Dion and block with Sahagin, I can finish it off with Lionheart. And then if they just don't have anything, then they're just like in a ton of trouble. Okay. Well, that certainly worked much better than I thought it would. Okay, let's play Thieves' Knife to play around Syncopate. Okay, so now I can attack with this Knight next turn, which is good. And I also have the mana to tap with the Coral, so... let's tap down Lock Cole. Man, they are being so patient here. Even when it like seems pretty apparent that they have some kind of removal spell here. Ice magic? Just to bounce it? Oh, so they can counter it. Yep. Okay, well... Yeah, I mean, they have a counter. And they get to pump both their Sahagins. Magic Damper? What? Okay. That was unexpected. All right, let's play Steiner. Okay, so they just don't have Syncopate. It was Magic Damper that they had previously. Or, I mean, maybe they do, but... All right. I mean, I think they have another removal spell. I'm just going to attack with this. And then I'm going to keep up the coral, and then next turn I can get in for a really massive attack. If that's available. Yeah, I mean, I felt it, right? Like, it just felt like they had a removal spell here. Okay, so we let that happen. We'll trade the Steiner with whatever. Okay. And we'll pass. Okay, well, we've been able to at least try to fight through everything that they have. Just gonna tap this. Okay, so now they're at 17. We have a Dion. We can attack at least for 4 in the air. The ground creatures can't really attack. And we have 3 mana to move equipment. This is a 2 mana move, and this is a 4 mana move. Crystal's Chosen. Holy cow. I mean, the thing is, that doesn't really get me to where I need with the damage. So why don't we just go Dion still and just try to push through damage? So those fly. Let's move this here. Attack. Alright, so our opponent's at 11. And Dion is very likely to die next turn. But after it dies, we get to play Crystal's Chosen. Okay. Alright, lots of go-wide spells. That was actually a really fun and interesting game where I was trying to figure out what I needed to play around. And, you know, I think there were several instances where had I just chosen to attack with a bunch of my knights, they would have killed my Dion and my knights would have gotten eaten up. So I'm reasonably happy with how that played out. 5 wins. Alright, on the play here... Don't have a 1 or a 2, but we have 2 islands, a plains, a Gallicat, Delivery Moogle, Sleep Magic, and You're Not Alone, so I'm going to keep this. 1 drop? What? Red? So what do you guys think? Lightning Bolt or Fire Magic? Like, it's a lightning... They have a Lightning Bolt or a Fire Magic in their hand. I'm hoping it's Fire Magic. Poo-Poo UFO is the play. I will play out my Gallicat. I mean, I guess this blocks pretty well. 4 toughness is a big game. Ultros. Uh-oh. What do I want to do? Okay. Yep, Ultros is certainly very strong. Let's go Delivery Moogle. I'm gonna get the infantry here. They're going to do some ramping. I mean, Fire Magic would be really, really good against me. Okay, they didn't have a land, so that was good. I think I just want to get all the infantries out of my deck. Try to maximize my damage. I think they have a Lightning Bolt. But we'll see. They could just have a 4 mana spell here too. Okay. It was Fire Magic. I mean, Ultros dies. That's not that bad, right? That's a 2 for Two for... Well, I mean, I also got the infantries for free off the Moogle. So if you think about it that way, it's also not super bad. I'm just going to play some stuff and pass. Gaelic Cat will get turned on, but it is a 3/3. They also have a million mana up. Okay. They hit all their colors. We do have a Sleep Magic here, which can come into play. Like, it actually seems pretty decent on Poo Poo UF. Like, if they don't play another creature, right? Because this is just a silly blocker. Yeah, I mean... It draws me a card. I could also move it to Gaelic Cat, but it's so expensive to move. Okay, that is a Tidus. Alright, let's play it. Now let's attack. Draw a card. Alright. Then I can play Tidus. As this is a really good way, like if they decide to play something large here, the Tidus can just tap it down, right? And I'm waiting for them to use like a removal spell here before I play out the Dion. So pretty good setup here. They're looking at their graveyard. Maybe Iridia's Return, but only an Ultros to get back. Town Greeter. Okay, I'm okay with that. They hit a town. Ooh, double traverse the overworld. Shantoto. Alright, they're cooking. Nice little teamer deck. They're now at 14 life. Alright, they have 3 cards left in hand. What would you like to do with the Town Greeter? Summon Fat Chocobo. Alright, well, that certainly adds a lot to the battlefield here. Definitely changes how I want to play out this turn. Like, it seems like it's a good opportunity to go with the Dion line now. Just to get a bunch of flyers going. I guess I should have done a knight check, but I don't think anything else is a knight. Alright, well, I have a Dion here, and I have a You're Not Alone to save it. Also, I have the mana. Oh my gosh. That is gross. Holy cow. They bought back Fire Magic and replayed it here for 3 damage. That is unreal. I guess I'll save my Dion. Let me think. What happens if I save Gaelic Cat? Because that can attack next turn for a lot of damage. Let's save Dion, whatever. Let's not get too fancy here. Oh my gosh, it also killed the sleep magic on the Poo Poo! Wow! Unreal. Alright. My Dion is a 5/5, which can potentially be a lethal attacker next turn. We got them pretty low. They need to kill the Dion. If they kill the Dion, Chocobo dies next turn, and then I can Crystal's Chosen. The issue is they have Sorceress Schemes to get back Fire Magic, so I kind of need to wait on this. Man, this game was looking really nice, but certainly sweepers are very good against these decks. They can get back travel the overworld, I guess. 1, 2, 3 towns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 mana. Okay. So they're digging here. Like, if they play Travel the Overworld, Dion will attack. Okay. Well, now I can play Crystal's Chosen. And hopefully going wide is going to be good enough here. Right? Just having 4 tokens. Because basically, my opponent's going to have an empty board next turn. I think. Like, I think Poo Poo UFO has to block Dion. Regardless of whether or not I play something else or move the White Mage's Staff. Like, they have to block here, so. There's that. Okay, that doesn't... Okay. Alright, Chocobo dies. And I play around Syncopate here for 1. And then next turn, like, depending on what they do, I have multiple avenues here. Actually, what am I should have just played this first, huh? It forces the block. Yeah, no, I should have played that first. It just forces the block. But anyways, we have a great board here. 6/6 flyer and 4 2/2s here. Them leading things off with Ignis Scientia generally is a pretty good sign for us. But we'll see what their follow-up is here. Their deck is definitely very sweet. Double Travel the Overworld, Sweeper, Shantoto, the UFO, Ultros, like Ignis. Lots of good cards. Lots and lots of good cards. Okay, I think they just have nothing. Is it just all mana? We'll see. The Gardener, okay. The Gardener, okay. So 1 mana. 6 mana to flip. Alright. They all fly. Okay, Dion for the win. Whew. Okay, beat a really, really powerful deck there. Pretty lucky overall that we opened 2 Dions. That's where the luck came in. Okay. And we are now 6-2, playing for a trophy. Love to see it. Alrighty, 6-2 with our Azorius deck. Well, we drew... I gotta keep this, but I don't... Like, drawing both your Magitech Infantries, I think this is the second time it's happened. It's obviously the risk, but it is what it is. At least, like, the upside of having 2 in your opener is, would you play a 1-mana 2/1? Yeah. Like, in your somewhat aggressive deck? You absolutely would. So, let's go with that here. And who knows? Maybe they just use a removal spell on the infantry. Nope, comes into play tapped. Okay. I play the Cohort here. I could get in for 1 more point of damage here with the infantry, but if I draw planes, I have the ability to play the infantry and tap something down. Also, I think there's a lot more pressure to kill the Magitech infantry here, but sadly, it did not work. They blocked. They snap blocked too. Did you see that? Just the old snap block. All right, well... It is what it is. Man, the Gallicat is just so good on this board. I need some kind of removal spell. White Mage's Staff, okay. And, oh, wow, that is an excellent mulligan from the opponent. I guess Garuda is like not a terrible play here if you think about it. It does a pretty good job of blocking everything, even if they move the White Mage's staff. This continues to deal a bunch of damage, so why don't we play that here? Just pass. Like, if they kill the Garuda, I don't care. And I also do not mind trading Garuda with anything, is my thought process with this card. Like, even if they equip the Steiner with the staff, I can block. Yeah, this is all good. Okay, opponent passes. Two cards in hand for the opponent. Okay, let's attack. Play the Moogle. Let's get White Mage's staff. What you got for me? Sure. Okay. Now the question is like whether or not I want to trade these two cards here for the Steiner, or if I just take 5. I think it's just take 5. Let's target a Magitech Infantry. That can attack. Alright, so now we have a 3/3 Gallicat. The question now is whether or not I should play White Mage's Staff. Because if I draw a land, I really just want maximum permanence in play. At the same time, tapping down the Steiner seems pretty... I'm going to just wait. I'm just going to tap down to Steiner. Just feels a lot better to be able to use this to race. See what they do in combat. Tap the cat. Seems like a reckless attack with the Adalbert Steiner. All right, there you go. Oh, hello there, Dion. Good sir, good friend, good pal, good buddy. All right, what do you do? Return target creature card mana value 4 or less tapped. Okay, they just have a Tonberry. Let's attack. Yeah, let's just keep the tapper up. Seems very good. And if they do not kill the Dion here, then I can flip it and just win the game. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage coming in. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. And if they deal with the Dion, like I still have a pretty good board. Let's tap down the Flyer, because that way I can flip the Dion and go for the win if possible. Alright, what do they have? They're equipping and playing a land, and okay. Let's go for it. Alright! Yes, Dion for the win. Okay, well, we've definitely cut into our ranking here. We went from 1300 to rank 502, which means just a couple of more good finishes. And we should definitely get back into the double digits here. Like I said, I commentated the Pro Tour, and then I took a couple of days off hanging out with some friends here in Vegas who were visiting. And so then, you know, like it's now much later into the week, so slightly delayed here, but you know what, overall very, very happy with the result here. I mean, we were basically mono white. I think there, honestly, even looking at what we had, it's possible the black build was better, but like there just wasn't that much card flow, so getting to 8 mana is kind of difficult in black white. It's probably the hardest color combination to get it done, and I felt like the game plan of playing a bunch of creatures on curve, like cheap things, and using Sleep Magic and Stuck in Summoner Sanctum to clear out the way felt like it could be a pretty good recipe to success. And then, of course, we had the ultimate rare, rares, in double Dion Bahamut's Dominant. This card was absolutely incredible. Delivery Moogle, also just an excellent creature, always gets you value. I'm very, very happy getting that second copy of the Magitech Infantry, which really makes sure that you can get your artifact synergies going. Granted, this deck didn't have that many, but being able to turn on Galacat is a really big deal. A 3-mana 3/3 flying vigilance creature at common is absolutely absurd if you can get it done on a consistent basis. Tidus was okay, a little underwhelming. This card is much, much worse than you think it is. You need to have basically the absolute perfect blue-white artifacts deck to have this be really, really good. I feel like in my deck, it was just kind of average level. But given that we couldn't figure out our second color, it was a totally fine filler level card. Really wish I had something like another Monk's Fist just to have another thing to play on turn 2. Obviously, more White Mage's Staffs would have also been incredible. But honestly, Dion was the star here. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate your service in turning our deck into an absolute juggernaut. Flipping this over is basically just game over in decks like this. And also another big pick here was the decision to take the Crystals Chosen over Ultros. In most instances, especially early, I would take the Ultros and hope I pick up White Aura Sites and other ways to trigger the Ultros because it's an excellent 2-drop. But because it was so late in this draft, I was pretty happy with this. We have, double Dion as ways to make tokens. We are a creature-heavy deck. We have double Magitech Infantry. So I just felt like this was a really nice top-end card to play in this deck. And I think this was just really, really strong card in this deck overall. But double Dion. Oh, man. Probably not going to see that again all that often. Honestly, it saved the entire draft because look, our curve wasn't perfect. We couldn't figure out our second colors, but we had some really powerful uncommons at 4 mana in the Moogle, the double Dion, and we had just enough of a curve here to make it so that Dion basically just carried us to victory. Think about this. 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer that makes a 2/2, and then it just does everything. It just does everything, and I'm so happy that Dion was fighting on our side for once, and here we are with my first trophy after returning from the Pro Tour. Hopefully, let's continue our winning ways in future draft videos. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you need booster boxes of Final Fantasy, or you wanted to just buy some singles for your standard, modern, Pioneer, or Commander decks, TCGplayer.com is the place to go. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.